sad that we're learning now that they've gone for 9 months without getting paid.
Yeah,
You know,
it's been said in the news again. It's been. And the next time that people saw the Kenya women's was in Dubai, where we were in the finals with China. The girls are very active. They are really good girls. They are like, oh man, they're really strong, and they put themselves out there to play. But as you may have realized, it's been out, and we don't have the women team does not have a sponsor.
the Challengers series introduced most of us to the women's game because the Kenya Sevens women team was part of the tournament. And I'll be honest, this was the first time that I took a keen interest on the women's game because they were playing alongside the men's team. And I saw some very good rugby. So, Konya, talk to us about this specific women's team and maybe just the development of the women's game in
You
Kenya.
are the last.
Konye.
So, as you can recall, again, most people saw the women's sevens team first. So, I didn't watch the Tunisia game. The Olympic qualifier was being held in Tunisia. Unfortunately, they split up the men's and the women's for Olympic qualifier. The women's team was being done in Tunisia. Unfortunately, they lost due to some close calls in Tunisia to South Africa. So South Africa qualified, women's qualified for the Olympics, and we did not. We have to go to repechage. And then the next time that people saw the Kenya women's was in Dubai, where we were in the finals with China. The girls are very active. They are really good girls. They are like, oh man, they're really strong, and they put themselves out there to play. But as you may have realized, it's been out, and we don't have the women team does not have a sponsor. So, and nobody has been able to step up on the plate to sponsor the women's team. Unfortunately, the women's have gone several months. I think now it's coming to 9 months without getting salaries.
Wow. Okay, that is
But
not good.
they do get a little stipend, the so-called stipend, when they're training during the national games. They get a stipend, but unfortunately, they haven't got like full salaries for like so many months. So again, this goes without saying. It's hard to play on an empty stomach. You're not able to meet your obligations. You already stopped working. Some of the girls used to be like trainers. I know these girls by names, and they know me, and we talk. Some of them stopped working so that they can start training for the national team. So, and they're not getting remunerated for what they stopped working for. So again, it becomes a challenge. It's not an excuse, but you always have to think psychologically. That plays a psychological warfare in their background, how they're playing. Again, it's hard for you to perform at your best when you cannot meet your basic needs. And as you can remember in my speech, when I went to the dinner, I put it up to the ministry. Again, they want these girls to perform, but they're not willing to step up to help these girls meet their daily needs so they can be able to give their best. That's always a big question that you have to pose to these people so they can be able to realize. Again, sometimes as I say, math is simple. Bodman formula. You add one and one, and then you subtract. You don't do Matagovanio. You do Matagovanio, you get Matagovanio. So, to keep it in simple terms, is that if we're able to get support for the women's teams, I think we have a great potential. And especially with the nowadays that push for the equality in sport, if you approach any sponsor with that simple statement right there, equality in sports, why do you want to sponsor the men's team and you don't want to sponsor the women's team? That's a big thing. But it's just going to get you in the door. But again, there's always some tussle of the people who are trying to negotiate contract. Again, I don't know what's goes on in the background, and I don't care to know. All I care to know is that the players are being taken care of. I look out for the players' welfare.
Wow. It's really sad when you say that these women players sometimes have gone up to 9 months
Well, they haven't been paid for 9 months.
Or they haven't been paid for 9 months.
They have not. They have not been paid their salaries. Or they don't have a sponsor.
Oh my goodness, that is so painful, because I've been following the team, and they've been playing some very good rugby, like
they do.
Yeah, they're coming up. They're on the come up.
It's interesting. They're not only on the come up. They were one game away.
No, that team is good.
Really?
They were one game away from playing in the qualifying tournament. They were one game away. It was that one, last game that they lost to. I think they lost to Poland, and Poland is the one that ended up coming to the qualifying
Poland went and we
lost. Yeah. So my thinking is, if we can just cross over that hump, because now funding, once they make it to the World Rugby 7 series, there will be funding that will be coming from World Rugby. I think that's gonna take our women's game to the next level, because I really liked, it was my first time, watching the women's team, and I really liked what I saw. But it's very sad, and that's the reason why we have you, Konye, here to tell us what we don't know. It's very sad that we are learning now that they've gone for 9 months without getting paid.
Yeah, it's been said in the news again. It's been out on social media. Trying to get the girls funding. Trying to bring it to limelight that the girls are going so many months. But again, unfortunately, it's not necessarily falls into deaf ears. It is reported that there's no sponsor, there's no money. What are we gonna do?